Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob back today to bring you another battle. Like I said, I was going to bring you one on the weekend and it's going to be very analytical, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to change the format or anything. It just means that we're most likely going to be going into two parts. I'm saying that right now because when I was looking back at this battle, it's 83 turns long, okay? I'm going to split it up into two parts because this part right here is going to be extremely long, and then I'm going to go into a long explanation of the battle, and I'm just going to split the battle in half, and then the other half will be in a second upload. So, if any of you are not in the mood to watch a very detailed, brain-busting thing that might not even, compare to you, or if you just don't want to see NU, leave. Right now. Go for it. I don't mind. It's not a big deal to me. I'll have much other stuff for you guys. But anyways, for the rest of you who want to see the amazing thought process behind a professional noob, this will be a standard NU match against a person by the name of Selkies for the win. Now, background to this battle. The reason why I chose this battle is because I actually fought this person 3 times in one night, okay? It was a very small NU ladder. This guy was laddering. I had something called an NU hopeless team. And what that basically was, I chose 6 Pokemon that are just deemed hopeless, like completely useless, you can't do anything with them, and I made a team out of it. And turns out it actually did half and half, which was not bad. This guy, however, crushed it twice. So, he crushed it without me knowing what his team was, he crushed it when I knew his team, but then what happened was, I thought, okay, the whole point of the NU Hopeless team was to scout for new recruits for my other NU teams. So what I did was I took my three NU teams and kind of combined them. So if you guys are looking at my team, Monferno and Slacking are brand new. Cryogonal is from my first NU team. My NU Parahax team sports the Kadabra, and the 2 hopeless Pokemon are the Tropius and the Luminion, which, by the way, are actually decent if you use them the way I use them, I guess. I don't know. But they do a lot of work for me, so I put this team together, and we end up in this match, and this guy goes, should we just quit now? Should you just forfeit? I go, well, no, this is a brand new team. It shouldn't be the same old, same old. So I said, okay, let's do it. So I can tell you right now what every one of his Pokemon does, okay? That Armaldo is a mixed attacking support set with Stealth Rocks, Toxic, and Stone Edge. I forget the 4th move. That Whirlipede is a hazard setup with Rest and Toxic. That Mischievous' moveset is Taunt, Shadow Ball, Pain Split, and Calm Mind. That Alomomola is a sub-Calm Mind set, I believe. That Shelgon is a Wish Passing set with also Dragon Claw and I believe Toxic. And that Togetic is a Heal Beller. It's the Cleric, okay? Now, the most important things to take out of this battle is we all have different counters to each other. So, my Tropius gets completely walled by Mischievous' Taunt because my Tropius' moveset is Rest, Substitute, Leech Seed, Toxic. Okay, so that Taunt just ruins me, it's faster and everything else. But, that Mischievous cannot touch my Slacking because my Slacking, first of all, resists the Shadow Ball. Pain Split is not going to work if he puts any status on me. And on top of that, I carry the Night Slash. He doesn't know that, but I have Night Slash just for Mischievous. So, that's another important thing. Another thing is this team likes to set up full hazards. So, between Armaldo and Whirlipede, that's what basically killed me. The fact that he could set up full hazards and I couldn't spin them away. So, Cryogonal needs to stay alive. So, essentially, when I'm choosing my lead, I just thought, okay, the best thing I could do right now is cripple his entire team by easily setting up rocks. And that's going to be Monferno's job because it carries the Sash with the Stealth Rocks, just like my Infernape lead in my OU team. So that's what I'm going to lead off with, and now let's head to the match. So, in case any of you are wondering, I will show off the movesets to these guys later. I realized, because we have so much time, I cut out actually a lot of points in this upload, so if you guys are wondering about the movesets, the EVs, and everything like that, I'll go through them basically, just on a basic level through the battle because it might be pertinent, but otherwise, I'll build a team later and just show off all these Pokemon that I've been building. I've actually been building a ton of Pokemon, such as, I think I found 14 hopeless Pokemon that I built sets for, and you guys can choose them on a team, or I can choose them on a team, whatever. But, yeah, just to save time, I'm not going to go anywhere near that. So, immediately, I'm going to start off with Monferno. Now, I see that he starts off with Armaldo. Now, the interesting thing is, I thought that he might just think that I'm going to switch out, or I might be scarfed in some way. So I'm actually going to set up the Swords Dance first. And this is also okay, because I know he only has Stone Edge. So what I can actually do is set up a Swords Dance while he sets up his rocks, which is absolutely okay. But because my sash is intact, I can set up both a Swords Dance and a Stealth Rocks. Now, I thought he would switch out, so what I actually do is go for the Flare Blitz. Now, this makes sense a little bit because, again, my sash is intact. Not anymore, but the good thing about it is I know the Shelgon cannot really take me out easily. So, I'm safe now to go for my Stealth Rocks. It's okay if his +2 is wasted, not a big deal. He's actually just going to go for the Wish, seeing how much damage I did. So what I'm going to do is go for a close combat, look for as much damage as I can. But it's a good move on his part to go for the Dragon Claw, because it is going to take me out with -1 defenses. And his Wish is going to be up. And if you guys are hearing this dehumidifier in the back, I'm sorry. But I'm going to send in Kadabra now, as he sends out Togetic. Now, this part is going to be the most important part you guys are going to see in this whole match, okay? I'm going to go for the Substitute. Now, I just wanted to get some damage off of this thing because I know it's threatening, but I get a crit. Now, this is the most critical crit, ironic, in this match, and you guys will see why a lot later. He's going to send in Shelgon. I don't know what this Shelgon actually is defensively. I never figured out if it was physical or specially defensive. So I just go for the Psyshock, get really surprised at how little I do, and I go for another one just to try to take him out, but I knew he was going to go for the Protect. Not a big deal. I kind of just forced him to heal himself up. Not too big. I'm just going to switch into Slacking now, knowing he's just going to Dragon Claw me, but he actually goes for another Wish, which is a good move on his part. But my raw power here, this is actually a leftovers set with Night Slash, Yawn, Giga Impact, and I believe Thunder Punch, but you'll never see Thunder Punch used. But I make him drowsy so I can force him to switch, and it wastes a Truant turn, which is actually good for me. Now, Armaldo's going to come in. I knew maybe he was going to go for the Toxic, but I'm just going to go for the Yawn anyways, as he actually goes for Rapid Spin. That's his fourth move. He has Rapid Spin. So he spins away his rocks. Now, I'm going to have to play without rocks. It's okay. I mean, what am I going to do about it, right? I'm going to switch into Luminion now. This Luminion is specially defensive with the Scald, Ice Beam, U-Turn, and Protect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the Ice Beam just to check. I do quite a bit of damage, actually, for Calm Nature special attackless Luminion. So I'm going to fire that off. Bring her into her Whirlipede, which is fine. I'm just going to go for the Scald, predicting a switch, just try to burn something, but not going to happen for me. Now, this is another thing. I know it's going to start setting up, so what I'm going to do is send in Kadabra, but I also thought it might go for Toxic. That's what I meant to say. But, so what I do is send in Kadabra, which is perfectly fine. I'm just going to go for a Psyshock on the off chance it decides to stay in. But he's going to send in Shelgon. This is going to be bad. So what I'm going to do is go into my physically defensive Tropius, which I know can wall this thing. I go for the Toxic, miss, unfortunately, which would have been lucky because he went for Wish twice. So he gets a free Wish there without it. He's going to switch in Whirlipede. I believe I don't predict this. Yeah, I go for the Toxic, which is okay. But I'm going to go for the Leech Seed now, just to get residual damage off on this thing. I actually never figured out. It's probably just Eviolite, but he's going to set up Toxic Spikes. Now, I can play around these a little bit because between Kadabra, Tropius, and Cryogonal, they all don't get hit by Toxic Spikes. So knowing that he's going to set up a second layer, I just send in Kadabra to get some Leech Seed recovery back so I can set up at least one more sub in the long run. He's going to send in Shelgon. I predict this, and no, I don't. I just go for Substitute. But I also know he can't touch me, so Substitute is the safest thing. Now I'm going to check to see if he's specially defensive, and it looks like Shadow Ball does more, so knowing that an unstabbed Shadow Ball doing more damage than a stab Psyshock hitting defensively means that this thing is specially defensive, which is very good to know. But now what I'm going to do is send in Cryogonal, kind of fearing that Dragon Claw will do a lot, but I figured at that low health he's probably just going to want to Wish, because that's what he's generally been doing with his other battles. So here he's gonna go for the Protect, as I believe I just go for the Recover, predicting the Protect. Yes, I do. Now, this is gonna be a little bit of mind games. It gets a little risky at this point because I don't know exactly what he wants to do with this Armaldo. So what I'm gonna do is go for the Protect, and now what I'm gonna do is actually take an enormous risk. I go for the Toxic, knowing that he could easily go for the Stone Edge, but he misses. This is another critical point, because if Cryogonal had died, this probably would have been the end of the game. So, I'm going to go for another Protect just to rack up more toxic damage, as he's actually going to go for the Stone Edge. Now, I mean, this is like, it might seem like this is not very analytical, more hacksy, but there's a lot of things that are going through my mind right now that are telling me, you know, I need to work around these Pokemon. So still knowing that those toxic spikes are out, I'm going to send in Tropius to hopefully take the Stone Edge, and I do because I'm physically defensive, like I said. Now, this has the Harvest, so what I'm actually going to do is go for the Rest and use that Lumberry. No, I'm not. What am I saying? Wow, I just ruined the whole battle. But I'm going to send in Luminion. That's the thing. I'd make a stupid play. Send in Luminion to get poisoned as he actually switches into Whirlipede. So, skipping a little bit ahead, but this was a bad play because I shouldn't have let this thing get poisoned because it is a specially defensive wall. But he is going to start setting up spikes, and this is where it's getting really bad because he's starting to do that whole hazard thing on me. But luckily for me, my Cryogonal is still alive, so I'm okay. Right now, I'm just fishing for a burn. Not going to get it. He's eventually going to set up full layer of spikes. I shouldn't be guessing anymore because I screwed up. But I'm going to go for another Scald as he goes for the third layer of spikes. So now, here becomes another interesting thing that happens. I predict him to switch into Shelgon, so I go for the Ice Beam, just thinking that he might want to resist the Scald, but I actually freeze his Whirlipede. Another critical moment in this match because, as you will see, everything is going to kind of go downhill from him right from the beginning when I knocked out his Togetic at this point. I'm going to go for the U-turn just to get a little bit more damage off on it. I go into Cryogonal, which is going to skip everything but Stealth Rocks as he stays frozen. So now, what's going to end up happening is, I know he has to switch. He's going to switch into Alomomola. I should have gone for the Toxic knowing this, but I just go for the Rapid Spin just to get rid of everything. And now, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is going to be a good time to pause the match because, I think you've heard more than enough and a couple of screw-ups. So, comment, rate, and subscribe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this first half of the battle. I will be uploading part 2 and linking it in the no, I'll just link it on the video itself. But I hope you're all enjoying this, keeping it nice and simple with a little bit of analysis going through it, and I'll see you in part 2. Until then, peace.